Jai Sri Ram, Bhagavad Gita, Glossary. Achyuta, literally changeless one, an appellation of Krishna. Achyuta means changeless. Adharma, impiety or unrighteousness, is the English equivalent. Adityas are 12 deities constituting a group. Akasha, the first of the 5 material elements that constitute the universe, often translated as space or ether. Amrita, literally immortal, the elixir of immortality. Apana is a modification of the vital breath by the action of which the unassimilated food and drink goes downwards, and the movement of the outgoing breath is also called apana. Ashwatha in English is the holy fig tree, people. Ashwatha also means something that will not be there tomorrow, something temporary, transient. Ashwins are the twin sons of the sun god and the physicians of gods in heaven. Bharata, a descendant of King Bharata, the son of Shakuntala and Dushyanti. In honor of Bharata, India is called Bharata Varsha. In the Bhagavad Gita, word refers to Dhritarashtra and occasionally to Dhritarashtra and often to Arjuna. In fact, all Hindus are Bharatas because we are all descendants of Bharata. Bha means spiritual luster, spiritual knowledge, spiritual light. So Bharata means one who delights in spirituality, one who delights in spiritual knowledge. So we are all Bharatas. To be born in Bharat is a blessing. To be born as a Hindu in Bharatavarsha is a great blessing. Basically, all are Hindus here. They cannot change their forefathers, can they? They have converted. These people have converted somewhere along the line. The pity is they have not read their holy books, the Bible and the Quran. And it is my conviction that one who fully reads these books will abandon both these faiths and revert to Sanatana Dharma. Because Sanatana Dharma is purely philosophical. There is no sectarianism, no bigotry, no bloodthirsty genocides of unbelievers. All these things are not there. A truly educated, mature, critical thinker who is spiritually evolved can only be a Sanatani. And if he is not yet a Sanatani or if he has not converted to Hinduism, he is still a Hindu. That's about Sanatana Dharma. Bharata. So we are all descendants of Bharata. Dharma, as usual, the simplest definition is that which holds together. Dharayati iti dharma. And also the inmost constitution of a thing, the law of its inner being, which hastens its growth and without which it ceases to exist. The dharma of a man is not imposed from outside, but is acquired by him as a result of his action in his past lives. Thus, every man in a special sense has his own dharma, which determines his conduct, his righteousness, and his sense of right and wrong. And the best way to achieve moksha is to become an agent of Krishna and offer all activity as a service to Krishna. Yat karoshi, yadashnasi, yajjuhosi, dadasi yat tapasyasi kaunteya tat kurushva madarpanam. So Krishna also commands, do that as an offering to me. So the repercussions will be taken care of by Krishna. So that is about dharma. The word Dhritarashtra has one meaning, which is one who is a squatter, one who is doing bhukabja, one who is illegally occupying the land, who is actually trying to appropriate the entire Rashtra. The Rashtra does not belong to anyone. It seriously can be governed only by the meritorious. So, meritocracy is the central philosophy in Sanatana Dharma and the Bhagavad Gita. Yudhishthira was truly deserving to be the king, Whereas Dhritarashtra wanted to pass on the kingdom to his son, that is Duryodhana, who was evil personified. Shraddha is a word which is untranslatable again. The English word faith is a very weak synonym for it. Shraddha denotes an intuitive conviction. A conviction means a firm belief. Intuitive. Intuition is a word which is defined as a deep inner feeling which cannot be logically explained. You cannot explain it, but you sense it. So, Shraddha is an intuitive conviction in the existence of truth, and also it is a mental attitude on the part of the aspirant, consisting primarily of sincerity of purpose, dedication, humility, reverence, that is respect. So, that is Shraddha. Shraddhavan labhate jnanam. That's why Krishna is very clear. Krishna says only Shraddha. Shraddhavan labhate jnanam. Only one endowed with Shraddha acquires knowledge. Deva or God. In Sanskrit, the word is Deva. The word Deva literally means the shining one. And the explanation is when a human being performs dharmic activities, meritorious actions on earth, he becomes a Deva, a god after death, and occupies a temporary position in heaven where he is given charge of a cosmic process. Thus, you have Hindu scriptures which describe the god of fire, god of wind, god of the ocean, and even Indra's post is temporary. It is occupied by those humans who have performed extraordinary acts of dharma. So, even the post of Indra is temporary, nothing is permanent. After they enjoy the merits in heaven, they fall again. So, seeking moksha means getting out of this cycle, getting out of this. Simply getting promoted to a higher post and falling back again to earth is definitely not a desirable thing to do. We must seek something higher, which is moksha, salvation, redemption, which means freedom from this eternal cycle of birth and death. That can be done only by being a karma yogi. That is, then you are in permanent, eternal company of Krishna. Then you can choose to come back. The philosophy is souls who have attained moksha enjoy all the siddhis except the siddhi of creating the entire universe and destroying it. So, such souls once in a while they descend, they are born on earth to help the others, those who are struggling. So, that is true freedom. Gudakesha. Gudakesha is again an epithet of Arjuna, which means one who has controlled sleep, who has conquered sleep. And gunas. Gunas is a word that you will encounter in the Bhagavad Gita frequently. Guna actually, according to Sankhya philosophy, Prakriti is nature or matter, in contrast with the Purusha, which is the Atma. And Prakriti is also endowed or imbued with three gunas. Everything in this material world is endowed or imbued or tinted or tainted with the three gunas, sattva, rajas and tamas. Tamas stands for inertia, dullness, darkness, ignorance, and sleep. Rajas for activity, restlessness, passion, heat. Sattva for balance, wisdom, light, knowledge. So, every religion, also all religions can be classified on this guna meter. Our eyes can become guna meters. That means an ability to judge the sattvic, components, the ability to judge how sattvic an area is, a place is, a person is, the aura. Well, that's a deeper issue. We will discuss it some other time. Hatha Yoga. Hatha Yoga is a school of yoga that aims chiefly at physical health and well-being. All the asanas, they come under Hatha Yoga. Rishikesha is again a name of Krishna, which means the master of the senses or the director of the senses. We, unfortunately, humans are slaves of the senses. So, he is Atmaram and we are Indriyaram. Manu is the celebrated lawgiver of ancient India. And Manu is the name of a mythical personage regarded as the representative man and the father of the human race. The Manu Smriti or the institutes of Manu mentions 14 Manus, who were the 14 successive progenitors or sovereigns of the earth, our forefathers. Hindus are descendants of Manu. Whereas, Christianity, they are descendants of Abraham. And that's why these religions are called Abrahamic cults. CULT. Cult means one which is centered around a person who is very charismatic. And cults are basically secretive groups. Of course, Islam and Christianity are merely cults. I don't call them religion. There will be a lot of initiation rites. You will have to blindly accept the dogmas without any questioning. Questioning is considered blasphemous, and leaving the cult is not allowed. Once you are a member, you are always a member. So the Quran is very clear, and the Bible too. Anyone who abandons the faith deserves to be killed. They have to be stoned to death. So these are cults, and it is unfortunate that many people refer to these cults as dharma. They are not dharmas. Dharma. Dharma is not religion, by the way. Dharma cannot be used as a synonym for religion. Right? So the 14 successive progenitors are Manus, and the seventh Manu, called Vaivasvata Manu, is supposed to have been born of the sun, Surya, and he is regarded as the progenitor of the present race of human beings, Vaivasvata Manu. Maya is another word you encounter frequently in Vedanta philosophy, denoting ignorance obscuring the vision of God, the cosmic illusion on account of which the one appears as many and the absolute appears as relative. Nirvana is another word you encounter in the Bhagavad Gita and also Vedanta. Literally, it means blowing out as of a flame. In other words, salvation, redemption, freedom from desire, annihilation of desire, passion, ego, liberation, characterized by eternal freedom and unalloyed bliss. That is Nirvana. There are types of Nirvana also. Sayujya, Salokya, Sarupya, Samipya. So Sayujya, in unison with God. Sarupya, having a similar form as Krishna. Samipya, very near. Salokya, living in the same world. That is Golokam, along with Krishna. Om is another word we already discussed, the most sacred word in Hinduism, and it is the symbol of both the personal God and the Absolute. Prana is another word which we encounter frequently, the vital breath, prana, which sustains life in a physical body. And the breath in the books of yoga, prana is described as having 5 modifications according to 5 different functions. Prana is the vital energy that controls breath. Apana, A-P-A-N-A, apana, the vital energy that carries downward unassimilated food and drink. Samana is the vital energy that carries nutrition all over the body. Vyana, the vital energy that pervades the entire body. And Udana, the prana by which the contents of the stomach are ejected through the mouth. Udana. According to some writers on yoga, prana and apana mean respectively the ingoing and the outgoing breath. That's also there. Udana actually helps the Jivatma leave the body at the time of death. That is Udana. It could be through the mouth or it could be through the skull, Kapala, Moksham. That is through the Brahmarandram. Raja Yoga is another term. Raja Vidya, Raja Yogam is the 9th chapter in the Bhagavad Gita. So it is a system of yoga ascribed to Patanjali dealing with concentration, meditation, control of the mind, samadhi, and so this all comes under Raja Yoga. Siddhas. Siddhas are semi-divine beings of great purity and holiness, endowed with supernatural powers, perfected beings. Siddhas are humans who have achieved moksha, and they are perfected beings with supernatural powers. Skanda is the commander-in-chief of the armies in heaven. Senaninam aham skandaha. Krishna clearly says that Murugan or Kartikeyan or Skanda is simply an aspect of Krishna. Ushamapas is another term that you will come up, I think, in the Vibhuti Yoga and the Vishwarupa Sandarshana. It means the ancestors, the mains, the Ushamapas. And finally, yoga is a word that you will hear very often. Every chapter in the Bhagavad Gita is called a yoga. The word yoga means union, union of the individual soul, that Jivatma with the Paramatma. It also means, it means many things anyway. Yoga basically means acquiring some form of opulence. It also means the discipline by which such union is effected. So, Jivatma and Paramatma. The union of the Jivatma and Paramatma is called yoga. Yoga means yoking, joining, union. Jai Shri Ram.